I'm trying to stay sane during quarantine and also figure out this whole podcast thing. Welcome to That's Really Cool, Man.
Oh no.
You're special.
I look like a freak. I thought the hoodie would be a good move, which it is because it's my merch. I thought the hat would be a good move because I showered. I didn't want to blow dry my hair. And I thought the headphones would be a good move because I'm alone and hearing my own voice through this expensive audio setup that I purchased, I thought would be the move. Evidently, looking at myself in the camera, if you're watching this on YouTube, I look like a tech service expert who's trying to be hip. I look like the guy that rolls up and when you answer your door, you're like, oh God. Like I'm gonna be asking one too many questions or try to crack one too many jokes, which I actually do. I oftentimes fear that my friends. Am I slouching? I feel like I'm slouching. I don't know how to do this exactly. Evidently, I am winging it, folks. I realized after years and years of wanting to do a podcast that I just had to get episode 1 out of the way. You want to just get to episode 200 as soon as possible, and that's hopefully when it starts getting good. But that being said, this is episode 1 of Cool Man Coffee Talks, and I'm happy to finally have done it. And I'm happy that y'all are watching, whether it's on video or just audio. It took a few months of kind of getting the courage together, I guess, to kind of just do it. For my fans that have been watching me for years, they know that it's mostly just been animation and cartoons, and that's I'm happy that that's the way that I express myself. But I think notice I'm saying I think this could be a terrible idea. But I think I've been wanting to get to know my audience a little more with face value, and we get that a little bit in like Instagram stories and all that. I'm always being just goofy on my Instagram stories with my true human self and not a cartoon. But those are only 15 seconds long, and audience engagement is really important. And I feel like y'all should get a better sense of who I really am. As a human, or at least those who are interested, or interested enough to, tune into this podcast. And I have really cool ideas for this podcast. I think it'll naturally become its own thing. But I also want to touch upon topics that, I feel like aren't talked about enough, like work-life balance as an artist making shit on the internet. And also just the tough things, shit, hey, if someone writes in and they're telling me they're 17 and they just had their heart broken and they don't feel like making anything, they don't feel like drawing or going to work or whatever. I feel like being 24 years old, I've been through enough where I haven't been through it all, definitely not even close. But I feel like I've been through enough where I can at least impart wisdom on the younger audience that I know is watching me. Anywhere pretty much between 10 and 24, where with the age I'm currently at, I feel like I could be of some help. I think. I mean, my animations touch upon these sort of things like depression. And there's some very goofy ones, but it seems like people respond to that type of stuff, and so that's my plan. I mean, I really plan on ideally making y'all laugh through this podcast, giving you a better insight as to who I am, and hopefully answering some questions that people really need to know. And in order to do that, feel free to tweet me. At Cool Coffee Dan on Twitter. Also, you could DM me on my Instagram at CoolManCoffeeDan, and I'll just keep tabs on that throughout the week. This is going to be a weekly thing where I sit down and I'll respond to those messages and tweets and comments and whatever. Even if you want to comment on a YouTube video, I'm all over the internet, and that's what's interesting, because it's currently recording this on April 21st, 2020. We're in quarantine, and it's a weird vibe, especially for Me, because I mean it's weird for everybody, but like I've always been working from home. This has always been the way I do things, at least since I left college, and now there's nowhere to go but home. I've been totally alone, with the exception of seeing my girlfriend on the weekends, like for the past, I guess, 6 weeks now, and it's tough because like here we are. I'm used to working from home, yes, year round, but I usually reward myself by going out to a bar, going out to a restaurant with a friend at the end of the day, and I can't even do that no more, dude. And it's freaky because now all the days start meshing together, and that was the inspiration behind the animation that I made. I don't know what day of the week it is, where he's just kind of like guessing the days, and Cheetos are in his bed, and that's that real shit right there. I've been having emails come in. This is the other annoying thing: emails coming in from like brands and like salad companies that for some reason have my email, and they're like doing weird puns about COVID-19, and it's like some of them are trying to be funny, other ones are trying to be like okay, so check this out. There is this YouTube management company that I will not name because I don't want to call them out, but if you're a YouTuber, you've probably heard from them. I almost said that. I almost said their name, but they're very consistent with emailing you and hoping that you'll eventually break, I guess, and join their managing service, their MCN. I've gotten probably over the past 2 years, probably 25 to 30, honestly, maybe 50 emails from them. Like I've never responded once. And they all say, hey, as per my last email, not sure if just looping back. And it's like, dude, like, I'm not interested. But they straight up sent an email that they knew motherfuckers would be opening, because it's a spooky way of putting words. The email subject was Danny Casale and COVID-19. And I'm like, dude, what? Who is this from? You just see that email pop up on your phone, and you assume that you got it, or like someone in your family has it, or while you were sleeping they injected you with COVID just as like to be like a test rat, and they're like, we'll email him in the morning. Weird. And I open it up, and it's just the dilly dally usual thing. It's just like, hey, you wanna join us? I mean, it's crazy times right now, right? But come on, you should join us. We'll give you nothing. Yeah, you'll just get a 30% of your income off of YouTube, which is what an MCN traditionally does. I think it could do a lot for a smaller YouTuber. But I'm just a little jaded with the amount of emails that I get. I don't belong to an MCN. But then like salad companies are like, hate that Corona? Well, why don't you get on a sweet potato salad, man? And it's like, it doesn't make any sense. And they really are just that creative. I understand, like, you want that email click-through rate to be off the charts, but those got old real quick, really quick. Then you got like, restaurant takeout companies being like 50% on us because coronavirus. And it's like, bro, I don't even know how you got my email. So please just stop hitting me up. But I don't know. I'm really, what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to stay sane during all this. It's tough. It's like an hour to hour type of emotion. I call myself being in freelance. That's what I say, like, to my grandma, because they don't understand like what being a content creator, Instagrammer, YouTuber is. But really, like, at the end of the day, what I'm doing is I'm being a freelancer. I'm working for myself, and I'm not gonna call myself like a I don't know, independent, weird self startup worker. There's no fancy way to put it. I'm just working for myself. I'm chilling. I'm very fortunate to do so. But the cons are that you are your own boss, and you got to make sure that you're on your shit and no one's going to be like necessarily on top of you. So today was a really hard day, for example. I don't know why. I just got a terrible night's sleep, and I couldn't bring myself to do anything that's on my to-do list. And it sucks. And, usually I would break it up by being like, all right, let me go for a walk, get a smoothie, get some fresh air or something, but there's like nowhere to walk to. And all the businesses, I'm staying in LA and Silver Lake right now, everything's closed, dog. So it's like it's so easy to stay home, which is what you should be doing, but it's so easy to stay home and do nothing, like batshit nothing, which I've been 99% successful in not doing that, like staying very productive. I have a bunch of cool things in the works. Like I dropped my merch, which I'm stoked about. There's a few more hoodies available. If you want to cop them at coolman.store, www.coolman.store. Little porky pig drop there. I think I'm wearing the I don't know if you can see. The video folks can see. Oh shit. I'm wearing the Cool Man joggers, the first official Cool Man joggers, but I think there's like straight up like 5 of those left. Well, I'm out of breath. That's not good. See, man, it's like exercise isn't really a thing either here. There's straight up like 5 joggers left. I think there's like 100 or so hoodies left on my merch site. Feel free to get on that. They're super, super cozy, and I've been chilling hard during this quarantine in them. They're my most high quality product to date because I joined Killer Merch, Jeffree Star's merch company, and they've been amazing and have high quality products. Dude, I'm so tired. I just hopped on the chair. Give me a break. Yeah, it's been what was I talking about? It's been overall productive. I have some really cool secret stuff going on that I don't know if I want to drop yet. But I'm confident that, now that I got this podcast, I can start dropping those exciting updates to you guys a little more personally, which is dope. Regarding merch, I'm excited to come up with like a summer line and like, dropping like, I hope to drop face masks because I know we're probably gonna be having to wear face masks for a minute at least into the summer. And I want it to look cool. I want it to like, have like a cool artsy vibe on them. And I know like some influencers are copping out pretty like, I don't know. They're not like making the best design that they can. They're just trying to be first. I really want to nail a cool design that people will want to wear because it's important. You're saving lives by wearing it, and why not look dope as fuck while doing so? But I wanted to also, check in with everybody in terms of like mental health, because during this time it's tough on the brain. Your whole routine is thrown off, and I recognize that there's a ton of people that aren't like me in terms of like, they haven't been doing this for the most part for years. So this is entirely out of left field, and it's entirely new. And, the whole routine of like going to school or going to your job is like thrown out the window. And I feel like that has to suck. And it's like a real shock to the system. It might have been cool the first week or so, but, like 6 weeks in now, it's kind of like you're at the point where you're losing your mind a little bit and like your emotions are probably all out of whack. And the only advice I feel like I'm in position to give is honestly, here's the list that I've been doing that's been keeping me in check, just sanity wise. Number 1, you got to exercise. I don't know if you've been exercising before this all started, but I definitely recommend it now. If you're able to just cop a cheap yoga mat off of Amazon, disinfect that shit when it comes in, learn some yoga. There's so many free yoga classes on YouTube right now. It's insane. There's also like, speaking of YouTube, there's like 10-minute workouts of like type in like Bowflex workouts. Dog, it sounds weird. Growing up, like Bowflex was like a funny word to say, but they've been hooking it up with like the quick 20-minute, 15-minute, 10-minute workout that has me sweating. Sweating feels so good when you're cooped up in your home all day. Like you gotta be sweating. That's like negative energy. Just watch this podcast just turns totally like astrology, like weird hippie. But like for sure, it's just science, dude. Exercising will get you out of that funk. It'll definitely help. I was feeling like shit today, dude. And then I did a 40-minute yoga thing. I've been doing yoga for years, so 40 minutes is a long time for like a newbie. But 40-minute, bro, I was sweating. I was holding these positions, and I just felt like more in tune. I also recommend for the creative brains and maybe even the not so creative brains. If you're like math and logic driven, cool. You're probably going to take over the world one day. But you should be drawing and writing a shit ton right now. This is my notebook. Yes, it's a diary, and I'm not ashamed to say it. And there's a ton of secrets in here that nobody will ever read, unless you're out to get me. And in that case, please don't be out to get me. I would appreciate it if you're not out to get me. Thank you. But just writing down your thoughts, externalizing your thoughts, oh boy, that will help so much, dude. Even if you want to just type on the computer because it's a little quicker, you know, instead of like handwriting. I still feel like I'm slouching. I don't know. That will keep you in tune, baby, because there's just some like age-old magical / science thing that if you just write your thoughts on paper, it's kind of like you're freeing up brain storage. You're not just packing it all up in there. Just, you know, you pack too much thoughts in your brain, it turns into white noise sort of deal. You go a little crazy, especially when you're like in the shower in the morning and you just hear like all these like negative buzzy thoughts. It really helps if you just write those shits down, those little shits down. And you do that for a few days in a row, you'll see the difference, like, or your money back. And I got the upper hand here because I'm not giving you any money. But metaphorically speaking, if I were to have given you money and this didn't work, I would give you it back. You know what I'm saying? It's helped me so much over the years. And dude, my mic, my voice sounds so good in this mic. It's actually insane. I laugh just to be humble, but I really mean it. So that's really the only thing that's changed from my schedule, though. Going to bars, I miss it, but I don't miss it that much. I've been wanting to experiment with my workflow where I'm totally alone for a minute now. Now I know what this feels like, and I have been very productive because there's just no other option for me when I'm not doing something. I just go to a depressed place, and that's why I'm suggesting to you to do a bunch of things that will keep your mind occupied. Because if you're anything like me, when you're not occupied, you just get depressed. It's very easy. The only thing that's not easy is getting simple goods delivered. Dog, it took me a good amount of time to figure out how to get coffee, iced coffee, the essence of Cool Man Coffee Dan, the blood that runs in my veins, the black bean juice itself. I couldn't get it. It was nowhere to be found, and it's cold brew. So like I have coffee in my apartment here, but cold brew just hits different, man. It just hits different. It's like that nitro fuel. It's like the arcade games where you're like losing in that race car game, and then like you like hit that button and it's like that purple nitro tank that you picked in the main menu because you're smart and you know that better wheels will look cool, but they won't make you go faster, and you knew to go for that nitro ultra pack in the beginning, and then you use it and you beat all your friends and you're really cool, and you just finished Shark Tales, and it's like 2003, 2004, and you're on top of the world. And then you see a Chucky doll in the vending machine, the claw machine in the lobby, and that gives you night terrors for years to come. Years! I never got over that shit. That was a Chucky doll, dude. Why was there a Chucky doll? Chucky wasn't in theaters then. Maybe it was. But I didn't care. I was 9. Why should I have been exposed to that? That shit ruined me. It ruined me for years. I had night terrors for weeks, man. I had like a radio in my room for some reason, like a boombox. And in the middle of the night, that shit turned on and started playing static. I shit my pants. I pooped my pants because of that. And it's the reason I have trust issues today. One day it got so bad, we were walking by that movie theater on Long Island, New York, where I grew up. And my mom was so fed up with my night terrors that she grabs my arm. I was probably talking about it. Like, yeah, I hope Chucky doesn't get us right now. I hope Chucky doesn't kill us right now. And it was like 3 p.m. on a Tuesday. She grabs my arm. We walk into the movie theater. I'm like, are we about to rewatch Shark Tales? I'm into that. But we were not about to rewatch Shark Tales. It was probably out of theaters by then. She literally asked for the manager. She pulled a Karen, and she asked the manager to pretty much ensure me that Chucky wasn't real and couldn't hurt me. I'm not making this up, folks. It was this poor dude named like Gerald or something, like 30-year-old man trying to run a movie theater. And she was like, your toy in the vending machine terrified my son. Can you tell him that Chucky's not real and that you removed it from the vending machine? Which I have to think they did, because that was such a bad move on whoever's part. There's like a Chucky doll. And it's not like, say I was terrified of Godzilla, right? You have a Godzilla doll in the vending machine. I'm calling it a vending machine. It's like a claw machine, the game. It's not drawn to scale, so it's not going to scare me. It's going to be like, like a 1/32nd size figurine mini of what Godzilla actually is, which is big. And it's not going to scare me because little Godzilla can't hurt me. Trust me. I would curb stomp that bitch. But a Chucky doll, it's already, the thing that it is in the movie is exactly what it is in the machine. It's a doll. So, and it's probably actual size. So, that thing is going to hurt me. He's going to like stab me, I don't know, punch me, light me on fire, laugh at me while I'm on fire. I don't want that. So, that shit was scary. And you know what? I would probably still be scared of that shit. I'm glad my mom did that. My mom's awesome, okay? Happy early Mother's Day, Mom. I'm glad Chucky didn't kill me, because look at me. I turned out to be adorable and successful with all my friends. Triangle, rectangle, and some plants. So you know what? Joke's on you, Chucky. You little bitch. Go pick on someone your own size, like a Ken doll or like Hot Wheels. I don't know what I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, so this is what the podcast is going to be. It's going to be me just chatting, and people ask me, what is this podcast about? It's just about, okay, it's about personality, and it's about what I'm doing, which is a lot, and how to just go through it. And I think young artists and young creative people, and because we're all young, we'll find value in this. And this first episode kind of acts as a lesson to begin with, because I've been wanting to do this podcast for so long, and there just comes a time you just got to do it. You could overthink all you want, and you got a million people talking about the things that they're going to do. Oh, I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to do that. But the day never comes when they do it. It's easy to talk, and I was calling myself out on the bullshit. I mean, I purchased these mics back in December, and I knew just because I had these expensive mics that it didn't mean shit. And just because I'm posting this right now doesn't mean shit. It could turn out to be a horrible podcast that nobody listens to. And that's the risk I'm willing to take, because I know that I want to do something, and I'll be damned if I don't at least try it and see what happens. That's the reason where I'm at today with my animation. I got millions of followers across social media pages. What does that mean? I don't know. But I do know that it's paying my bills, and I'm having a lot of fun while doing it. And I never would have gotten there if I didn't try my first animation in 2017. I wouldn't have gotten there if I didn't pick up my first camera when I was 9 years old. Like, it's those types of things. Like, it's just always, it's getting that first minute out of the way. The first minute is always the toughest minute, because that's the minute when you arguably have no idea what the fuck you're doing. But once you get to minute 10, minute 30, you're flowing. Then you're like hours in, then you're days in, then you're weeks in. And then, you're 5 years deep into a whole new career for yourself. So it's just a matter of, it's like the Woody Allen quote, 90% of doing something is just showing up, or whatever the thing is. Like, it's true. You gotta just, you gotta show up to graduation, man. I don't know what that means. But I showed up to graduation, and then I graduated. Okay. That doesn't really hold up. And also, unfortunately, a lot of people aren't going to be, graduating at a real graduation over the course of the next few weeks because of the corona. And I apologize to those people, but I'm sure each individual school will figure something out. How cool will it be if you graduate on Zoom, and then the reception gets interfered, and then it's like me, and I'm just like, hey guys, congrats. Like, I hire someone to like interfere with the Zoom receptors, which is totally how it works. It's not, but run with me here. And I'm there like giving you like that free like, woo, like I'm your hype man. Like when you walk across your room in the Zoom webcam to graduate. I don't know what I'm saying right now. What I am saying is we'll all be okay. This is going to be fine. Focus on taking care of yourself, folks. Do everything that I said. Try a little yoga. Go for a run around your block if you could avoid people. Stay far away from people. Write, read, draw, talk to your friends, catch up with your friends that you haven't talked to in forever. I've been catching up with my high school friends, man, and that shit's a trip, and it's good. It's good for the soul. I've been calling and FaceTiming my friends that I haven't spoken to for a few years now. So, and then there's the simple stuff like watch movies, YouTube videos, download some audiobooks, listen to this podcast, because I have some episodes coming out. I have some great notable talent that I had on as a guest before all the quarantining started, because I've been booking up the backlog for a minute now. This is all going according to plan. Actually, it's not going according to plan at all, but I'm adapting, and that's, we could get into that in the next episode. Adapting is key. But thanks. I feel like this went great. I feel awesome. I hope you enjoyed this short little first episode, but like I said, I wanted to do it. I wanted to get out of the way and just do it and get this thing started. And remember to subscribe to this podcast, and make sure to like it if you're watching it on YouTube. And I appreciate all the support. If you want to cop the merch, there's a few left of the spring edition drop. www.coolman.store. And I feel like there's going to be so much to experience, and I can't wait to experience it with all of you. And it's going to be fun, and it's going to... Oh no, my oh shit. My video stopped, and it was like the last minute. Oh man, we were so close to the end. Well, this shit's ruined. I'm gonna go to bed and delete my YouTube's channel, and I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna probably look into how to make sure a camera doesn't turn off after 30 minutes. That's it. That's the end of episode 1 of That's Really Cool, Man. I hope y'all have a blessed day, and I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.